Let's start with what is a report. A report is a systematic, well-organized document which defines and analyzes a subject or a problem and which may include the record of a sequence of events, interpretation of the significance of these events or facts, evaluation of the facts or results of research presented, discussion of the outcomes of a decision or course of action taken, conclusion, and recommendations. Reports must always be accurate, concise, clear, and well structured. That is why we need to follow a particular format for the report writing. Now, what is a format? First of all, it is a plan of organization, or let's say it is a framework for arranging information that we have collected or that we would like the reader to know about. Why should you use a format? It is important so that when we are presenting a report, it is clear and as concise as possible to one reader or to a variety of audiences, and to signal the type of information being presented to the audience and to enhance the presentation. Let's talk about the objectives of a report. Before writing a report, the writer should research, plan, and eventually write. All three play a pivotal role. It is important for the writer to identify what is the main purpose of the report. There could be, the objectives of writing could be, is it to inform the audience, to argue a point, to persuade the audience to look or share the same opinion as you, or to evaluate something that you have found. The report writing. Now, before writing, the following questions should be considered by the report writer. Who will read the report? That is, who is going to be the audience? In what context will they be reading the report? What do they want to know? How should the report be structured? What questions will your readers want your communication to answer for them? What additional information do your readers need other than what is already available to them? And what information do you need to gather through the research that you have undertaken? In a report, there are three different sections. They are the front matter, the main body, and the back end matter. We will discuss each one of them separately. Let's take the front end matter first. The following that you see on the screen are the parts that we include in the front end matter. The first is the title or the cover page. The second is a letter of transmittal. There's a copyright notice, forwarding letter, a preface, acknowledgement, table of contents, list of illustrations, and then abstract and summary. Now, what is the need for a title or cover page? The title or cover page includes the title of the report, the name of the person authorizing the report, the name of the authors, the name and address of the institution or company which has issued the report, and the date. The letter of transmittal is the letter which explains why the report was prepared and its purpose. It mentions the title and the period of work and states the results and recommendations. The letter of transmittal may be separate from the report, but it is usually bound into the report immediately before the table of contents. Now, what is a preface? A preface contains all parts of a forwarding letter. It presents the report to the report reader in a very lucid manner. The acknowledgements include the names of people who made technical contributions, the notices of permission to use copyrighted materials, and so on. The table of contents, very important. The table of content contains a guide to the content of the whole report. It lists the preliminary pages and such as the letter of transmittal and the acknowledgement, and it includes all headings and subheadings that have been used in the report exactly as they appear in the report. The table of contents also includes the page numbers for all parts. This may be taken into consideration here that we use the lowercase Roman numerals for all preliminary pages and the Arabic numerals for pages in the body of the report, starting with page 1 for the introduction of the body. This is very important to understand why the Roman and Arabic numerals are used here. The abstract and summary: only a long report needs an abstract or a summary. An abstract is shorter and more concise than a summary. The list of illustrations will include all the tables and graphs that you would like to incorporate into your report. The references are used to cite your sources and give credit to the written work of others that you have read and used in your report from time to time. The appendices is the storage warehouse, the place to put material that needs to be included in the report, but it is not essential. We have just talked about an abstract. What is an abstract and what it should include? The first thing that the abstract should include: why the work was done, the basic problem of the report, the specific purpose or objective, and the scope of the work if that is relevant, how the work was done, the test methods or means of investigation that were used, and what was found, the result, conclusion, and what recommendations do you give. This is what should be in the abstract. This is what should be included in your abstract. Now, the abstract should not make references to material in the context, not as in word to word. Not lose the message by burying the methods, results, conclusions, and recommendations in a sea of words. Is not to be written before the rest of the report. That means first you write the report and then you write the abstract. So when we consider the inclusions and what it should be about, we come to the conclusion that a good abstract is always complete, concise, specific, and self-sufficient. The next is the main body of the report. The body of your report is a detailed discussion of your work for those readers who want to know in some depth and completeness what was done. The body of the report shows what was done, how it was done, and what were the results, and what conclusions and recommendations have been drawn or can be drawn from it. So it includes the introduction, then the background, the methods and procedures that were adopted, the discussion of results, the conclusions, and the recommendations. The back-end matter consists of appendix, list of references, bibliography, glossary, and index, whereas glossary and index can be optional. They don't really have to be there, but then they are optional. So when we talk about the report writing procedure, we should be very clear about why we are doing it. Now, this lecture is now followed by certain MCQs, and I think after you have done the MCQs, you will find the answers towards the end, and I'm sure you would understand what you have learned today. Thank you.